mmobk, and welcome to C9 once more. C9, for those of you who don't know, actually just recently had a new expansion called the Ruin Empire that launched, which among other things added a new level cap of 57, added the new class the Reaperess, which I'm on right here, and also of course added new zones and dungeons to tackle, as well as new bosses and loot items. So Webzen was kind enough to give me a press account so I could check it out myself, and of course I'm on my Reaperess here, which the Reaperess is a subclass of the Shaman. And for those unfamiliar with C9, the way the class system works is you pick a certain class, and at a certain level you can then further diversify that class into a subclass. So the Reaperess is a subclass of the Shaman, focuses on a lot of fast attacks, a lot of sweeping white arcs with the scythe, which I think is pretty badass to have this large scythe that's cutting through enemies and mowing them down. And you also do a lot of bleeds, and you kind of rely on almost demon energy, I guess you could say. So why don't we go ahead and check out the new one of the new dungeons available. And to actually access this fourth continent, you do it from the second continent here, the Castle of Impelli, on the Okapia ferry here. So let's jump up here. Now the actual land of Okapia used to be a very powerful dynasty, a very powerful empire, but it's fallen into ruin. It's kind of fractured a little bit. Each of these areas here are almost controlled by different factions or rebel groups, I guess you could say, and each of them represents a different area within the land. So some of them are indoors in kind of like these dynasty areas, other ones are in prisons, other ones are outdoors. So why don't we go ahead and just choose one of these to actually do here. And let's go ahead and do the Mashion Tombs. So that looks pretty cool. Actually, I want something a little bit cooler. I know a little bit about the bosses that are in these. Let's go with a Kuba's Nest, which a Kuba's Nest is almost like a insectoid planet from what the looks of it. Let's go ahead and click start here, and we're going to enter the stage. So we're fighting a bunch of scarab different people here, and these guys are underground. Some of the bosses and some of the dungeons rather are underground, other ones are above ground, other ones are in buildings, etc. So you do get a very diversified and different settings for each of your dungeons, which is very nice. Not the enemies are pretty much different for each dungeon that you actually fight in, within limits. So these guys are here, very easy to take out with just my simple auto attacks. But why don't we start using some of my special abilities? So the cool thing about the Reapers here is I have so many AoE abilities here that allow me to make me attack faster. I get a lot of critical strike bonuses whenever I use my abilities, and I also do a lot of cleaving attacks as well. So these guys are easy. These guys, no problem. I don't even have to use my abilities. We're going to come up here though, and I'll start to use some of my fancier abilities. So I inflict a lot of bleeds, I gain increased attack speed and critical strike when I use certain abilities here. And right there I'm even able to steal HP. So I'm able to steal some HP to actually boost my maximum health for a limited amount of time, which is nice. Let's go ahead and use Empower here, which allows me to grant myself an increased damage and attack speed. And boom, look at that. It's like a fissure attack that actually boosts people up in the air and does large combo attacks. The Reaperess is all about combo attacks. You do a lot of attacks that actually hit enemies 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, which is quite nice. Alright, so we've got to actually head this way here in this tombs, and I have to say, this actually reminds me a little bit of Encourage from World of Warcraft, for those of you that are old level 60 players and remember that from back in the day. But yeah, I forget exactly what they were called, but the scarab dudes in World of Warcraft, they kind of give me the vibe from this. But alright, let's start using some of our special attacks abilities here. You do have a pretty awesome special ability once your rage hits maximum of 8, maximum, which is the purple bar on the left. And I'll show you what exactly that does in a little bit here. For now, we're just going to keep clearing out these guys so we move towards the boss. So there is also a new Hell mode that's unleashed or unlocked for this game as well. The Hell mode is the most powerful or hardest dungeon to actually complete. Dungeon mode rather to complete in the game, dungeon difficulty I should say, and it unlocks a specific tier, a set of gear. And now in order to unlock the Hell mode, you actually have to complete these dungeons on Master difficulty, and you get little hell fragments which then allow you to unlock that last dungeon mode. So let's finish off clearing these guys here. These guys so far are easy peasy, not even a problem here. We'll just continue moving up and see what's up ahead. So let's see, can I go through this area? I think I have to clear this last, what is this? Oh man, it's got an eyeball in it. What is wrong with you? That kind of reminds me of the thing from from Star Wars that was in the little disposable area. Oh, using my nerd references for the win. Alright, so I think they're all done. Alright, so now I can actually continue forward. So yeah, I've got a lot of AoE abilities, a lot of abilities that draw enemies into me or draw enemies and then explode them outwards. A lot of them are bleed abilities, which can give me increased attack speed and critical damage. So while the Reaperess doesn't do a lot of hard-hitting abilities, it's not like the Berserker where you're going to abilities that are hit for 10k, 20k, you will get abilities that hit for, you know, successively 1 to 2k in quick succession. So you do a lot of quick burst damage along with some bleed attacks as well. It almost reminds me of like a rogue class, but with a scythe. And I think the scythe is way cooler to me. Alright, let's come up here, clear that guy out. So once we get into a larger group of enemies that hit a little harder, we can use some of our more special abilities here. So let's go ahead and use these here. So I've got a lot of abilities that increase my momentum, you know, kind of make me dash around, and make me like really fast here. So I'm able to evade those attacks as quickly as possible, while also, you know, I've got my basic dodge roll, but then I have my abilities that actually kind of propel me through the enemies here. So if I actually hit one right here, I'll kind of run through them, and I do this crazy Max Fury ability here. Alright, so I've got my Max Fury now, and to unlock it you hit your left and right mouse button at the same time. However, I'm going to wait for a little bit more challenging enemies first, not these little eyeball squid tentacle, I don't know what these things, what do you want to call these? They remind me of like little squid tentacles with eyes. Alright, so let's come out here. Alright, so I'll use my special ability once I get here, and I just gotta sit on here for the stage. Fear Hole SM2. I doubt the names are actually completely finalized yet. So these guys are coming out. So I'll use my special ability. Now to do that, I just hit left and right mouse click, and then I'm going to hit 9 here to actually activate it. I get a cool little cutscene here, and I'm able to pull out an even more badass version of my sight here. And look at me go. I've got these wings flying on the back of me, and I'm able to just kind of fly through these guys. Now my special ability here, I also have a bomb that I can set off here in an area around me. It does a lot of AoE damage, but look how fast I actually move. I'll show you. I kind of just glide through and I move so quickly. This is a great ability to use when you're either fighting a boss or when you're fighting like large groups of mobs that actually hit you down and kind of take you out, because you're able to kind of knock them up in these huge chain combo attacks and not have to worry about. I mean, look, this is like a mini boss right now, but because I'm using the Fury ability, although it just ran out, I'm able to do just amazing amounts of damage. Alright, so let's come on here. Now, if I actually ended up dying in this, because I don't have any resurrection scrolls, I would die on the spot and have to redo that. But the game does offer, you can purchase resurrection scrolls in order to resurrect on the spot, and it also gives you max fear at the moment as well. Now, when you do the hell modes, though, you can only resurrect up to 3 times, so there is an added difficulty layer of that. But for the normal modes themselves, you can basically do it as many times as resurrection stones. So there, using that, I was able to clear that stage just fairly quickly there, almost instantaneous. Keep in mind, I am level 57. I do have max, level skills, etc. But my gear is level 51, so we can hide those results. And at the end, oops, I accidentally turned off the recording. At the end, I can actually then choose what exactly I want to unlock. So I unlocked some gold there, and I would have been able to get some other items as well. One of the chests didn't have anything, so let's go ahead and hide results, and then let's go ahead and jump to the town just by hitting yes there, and returning to the town. Now once we get back into the main town, I'll go ahead and do a different dungeon to show you off like some of the varying degrees of how much these dungeons vary from each other. Some of the dungeons, like that one, don't really feature a lot of guys that can knock you down, etc. They feature more along the lines of spinning attacks, etc. But we'll go to this other dungeon, which is one of the, I guess you could say, the jails or the vaults within this Okapia, and it features some large, hard-hitting mobs. So let's go ahead and jump in there. So it's going to run up here, and we're going to go to the Konados Academy, level 54, and go ahead and start that area here. So each of these areas features, varying degrees of artistic style. They have different mobs, and really offer a lot for players to experience here. Overall, I've really enjoyed the Reapers class, and for me, I've never been about slow-moving classes and dungeon brawlers like this. I've always been about the classes that can do large amounts of attack, chain these combos up, and do like quick hitting attacks as quickly as possible here. So these guys here, these look like some kind of denizens, Konados scouts, I guess you could say, kind of like protecting this area from me, but I'm like, whatever. I'm a badass with a big scythe, and I'm just going to cut through you all. Look at that. Just kind of blow these guys up in the air, no problem. Earlier, I tried to complete one of these dungeons on Master, and I didn't realize at the time my gear was only like level 51. It's quite difficult. You have a lot of, they gain additional damage. Of course, they also knock you down a lot more. And I find that, they're a lot less forgiving as far as like using their knockdown abilities more. So you do have to actually, evade and move around as quickly as possible. So we just actually moved that, and now I can continue moving up here this way. Alright, let's come up here. Let's see what's around this area. Oh, we got some mud So they look like they were giant mud clods, but they're just some little guys here on the ground. And I can use a lot of my AoE abilities, like I said before, to kind of clear these guys up. And a lot of your abilities actually give you those bonuses I talked about earlier. So you want, once you actually get your attack speed up by 70, 80%, you're able to just like cut through these guys like butter. I mean, look at this. Not even a problem here. Again, this is normal mode, but even this, you can imagine what it'd be like in harder difficulty where you're actually taking a lot of damage at one time. All right, I'm completing this on just my individual person myself, but the more people you actually get in this, the harder it becomes. The more HP these guys have, the more abilities they perform on you, etc. And the little red kind of aura that you see on those guys is actually the bleed that I've actually applied to them. It bleeds for about 200 to 600 damage, which is quite nice. Just kind of clear those guys out here. I can use my first ability here, kind of dash to these guys, and I do this. If I actually connect, I do a large combo, which does a lot of damage. I'm up to 10 combo. Let's see if we can get this higher here. I was up to 14. All right, we need some guys that take the hits a little harder. All right, so we've got some large guys out here. A guy that looks like he has some kind of steering column from, what is that called? From a ship. You got your little ship steering wheel, but it's alright. We're just going to use our abilities here, do a large amount of AoE damage, and then start cutting these guys up. So you almost get to the point where you can't even see your character. You're just actually using your abilities so fast, and your character kind of like spins around so quickly. But as you can see here, I'm just kind of cutting these guys off, just swathing my way through. No problem. You guys have a bug infection in here. Max Fury, let's do this. Alright, maybe not yet. Alright, let's wait till we clear out all these guys and then continue on to use our Max Fury ability. Alright, so what do we got here? What is this? So we'll recover full MP. Yes, please. So we can go ahead and continue. I'm not going to collect that gold because I just want to show you guys off this area here. So let's come on to this next area here. Alright, what's this? 4th stage. Alright. Alright. Use our ability here to do a large amount of AoE damage. So you do these AoE abilities and then they basically apply these bleeds to everyone. And those guys just fell off the edge. I don't want to fall off the edge. Use my first ability here to keep cutting these guys up in style. Look at that. Knocked all over the place, no problem. Now obviously, this appears normal or easy right now because I'm running it on normal. But like I said before, master difficulties of this, and then of course hell mode, extremely difficult. But for the casual, this is going to be where you want to play if you want to just enjoy doing your combo moves without really interruption. And then of course you have the PvP modes as well. I can imagine this class in PvP being quite fun since you're going to be focusing on getting those high combo attacks, kind of dodging in and out of attack as quickly as possible. Cut those guys up, no problem. Let's see if I can actually group all these guys up for some massive damage. Alright, so let's use our special ability here. Let's hit 9 and turn and get out my giant scythe, which is so awesome. And now we can start cutting these people up. Look at this. Bam! So awesome there. It kind of reminds me a lot of like Kingdom Hearts, where you can just basically get the dual keyblade and just start destroying everybody in your path, which I kind of find with this. And by using my E and my F ability, I actually gain like the spirit bombs basically, which allow me to do a large amount of AoE damage besides what I'm doing already. But as you can see there's one of the guys that's he was kind of locked up there, but he's now free, and I'm going to have to actually fight him. An abomination mini boss basically, or maybe he's not mini boss, maybe he is the ultimate boss, but who knows. It's alright, we'll still take him out no matter. He still obviously wants to punch my face in. So up to 15 combo. Now let's see if we can actually get a higher. 16 combo, 18 combo, alright, 22 combo. Let's get a higher 24 combo, 33 combo, and stage clear. Look at that massive damage, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this early kind of first look gameplay video for the Reaperus, and then of course the new continent here of C9. If you guys want to learn more about C9, you guys can check down below at mmobk for the full profile / game review and find out how to download it and find out what new about the class, Reaperus, etc. I've got some spirit shoes, which are pretty crappy, and some gold. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this first look here at the Reaperus class and the new continent. This has been Spunkify. I'll see you guys next time. Spunkify out!